We're on?
We're on.
Okay. Welcome back to the garage.
You don't have anyone watching,
I don't have anybody watching it, but they will. They'll watch the reruns. We'll just leave it on here for a minute until we get a few. You got any numbers coming up yet?
just me.
Just Aaron.
Oh boy.
And Mango.
And Mangle. Sub Mangle. Welcome to the garage. We're back after a short absence. Mike is here with me. He's feeling better. Well,
Hi, Jeremy.
As much as I
he's
care
feeling.
to, I'm feeling, yes.
Hi, Hedgehog.
Not feeling as much pain as
Yeah,
couple days ago.
he's been in a lot of pain this past 2 weeks, I guess.
Yeah,
No
10 days.
shingles. That's going to be the topic of today's discussion. Is if you're over 50, go get it. Go get your shingles vaccination.
If you've had chicken pox.
If you've ever had chicken pox, apparently. I had a guy at work that's coming back after, I hate to say this in front of Mike, he's had it for 4 months now that he's been battling it. But he had a pretty bad case of it, like all over his body. And
Hi, Beth.
Mike looks like he got slapped upside the head pretty good.
Yep.
And
Yeah, and it was.
Well, he
worse
did.
was-
That was just by me.
Yeah, it was a pretty good slap upside the head.
that's a tripod.
But
Looking
but yeah, if you get chicken pox as a kid, and for me that was 45 years ago, and so the virus for shingles is already in your body, and it hangs out there, and then when something happens, your immune system gets low, or you get under a lot of stress. Because I'm never under a lot of stress at my crap ass job.
Never.
And so it comes and manifests itself. Like mine started as a really bad headache right up in here.
Yeah, I remember the night you texted me and said your head just hurt like to even touch it.
Yeah,
You didn't know why, and you were going to go and have a. Did you?
I went to the.
Oh crap!
We still on?
Yeah, we lost. That
Uh-oh.
camera died. Here, you want to talk for a minute, and I'll
Okay.
go. It's the camera. The battery's just not lasting.
Oh,
Here, I'll let you talk. Let me go
I'll
swap.
talk. So, so I had a headache, and I've had migraines before, and haven't had a migraine in 8 years. But this came on, and I was like, "What the heck?" And even went to the ER, and the ER doc said, "Mr. Freeman, have you ever had shingles?" And I was like, "What?" And at that point, it wasn't showing. A couple nights later, which would have been Tuesday, it showed up, and I was like, "Oh, hell's bells." And yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday were pretty rough. Then I found out from my doctor 900 milligrams of gabapentin is allowed, and that seemed to do the trick. But you can't do a lot of things when you take that much of gabapentin. You need to sit and watch TV and fall asleep. I've watched more Hallmark Channel in the last 10 days than I have in 5 years.
Were all the other channels off the air?
No, it's just Hallmark.
The Hallmark channel?
I try not to watch the news because
I don't watch the news either.
There's crap all the time, and I have a new TV, and YouTube plays through the TV, so I watch a lot of videos about bowling and.
So you've been catching up on all your bowling,
Well,
garage
it's great-
bowling alley?
It's great with the sound bar and the subwoofer. It sounds like I'm there. I watched what's that kid up in what's his name Pro that has the 8230 house, 8 lanes or 10 lanes.
I don't know.
Forgive me if I don't remember your screen name.
I'm not getting
Although I've
anything on the
watched many of
second
your
camera.
videos about 8230s. It's like you're right there, standing there next to the machine while he's bowling. So it's kind of fun. So yeah, I watch a lot of videos on bowling,
Dead camera number 2.
stuff, bowling, various organs around the world. You name it. I've watched tornado videos, things I like to watch. The tornado videos are pretty intense now because of the sound bar and the subwoofer.
I'm
it
trying to
makes me
find
think-
another camera.
Yeah, Robert's trying to find another camera.
The one we
It makes
had,
me
the
think,
battery
oh,
doesn't want
geez,
to
is
work
a
in it.
tornado outside my house because it sounds pretty intense. But today's the first day I felt kind of like a human, but I still don't feel like bowling or do anything like that because I'm just tired. I could probably lay down somewhere in here and take a nap.
So moral to the story, if you have had chicken pox and you're over 50,
Or 50 or over, yeah.
50 or over, go get your vaccine.
Yep.
Suck it up.
Yep.
Sometimes you don't want to go through what Mike's been going through, and
Not
the guy
hardly.
that worked that's had it.
You're right, Thomas. It was Joe the Pro.
That's it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But
Pro, yes. I knew it was pro something, but
my doctor's been telling me to get it, and he keeps asking. I keep saying no ahead, no ahead, no ahead. And the day that I found out Mike had his, went to Tom Thumb as a walk-in visit. Didn't hurt at all. Got the first one. I go back after 2 months, get the second one, and hopefully I won't have to deal with it.
yeah. Yeah, it's not
Okay.
recommended.
And I'm not that old yet.
Hey,
Yeah, well, yeah.
all right, how's
Lucky
that on
you.
the new camera?
Are we visible?
Oh, don't tell me it's upside down.
We put Mike on the ceiling.
Yeah. Well, what a feeling to be
Okay.
dancing on the ceiling.
Yeah, let's see if we can't turn this bitch around here.
Hey.
Oops. Gotta watch my mouth
Which
there.
itch? You heard nothing. Kind of like the penguins on Madagascar.
I'm sure a bitch is, I mean, if that B word is the worst thing anybody's heard today, it'll be alright.
Right.
Okay, how's that for a camera just flip back around again?
I can.
Okay, let me turn it a little bit this way.
Oh,
How are we there? Alright.
all right.
The battery died. I couldn't get it to stay on. So, and let me bitch for a minute here. Sorry, let me complain for a minute here. Had my 101.2 fever last night, so I called in to work. Been coughing a lot the
Where's
last
the
few days,
Lysol?
but yeah, we're far enough apart here. Do our social distancing, but so I'm recovering, feeling better after the car show yesterday. Where's the plaque? I forgot. Trixie is now an award-winning Best Interior 1957 Chevy Bel Air. So Trixie got the accolades. I think I'm going to retire now on top, sitting out in the car show for 5 hours. I don't know if you can see how red I am. Or am I red today?
No, you don't look.
I was red last night, so maybe it
Maybe
was
that's
just
because you were
the
getting sick.
101.2
Yeah, that was the fever.
Maybe. I was attributing it to sitting outside for 5 hours, standing around talking to everybody and telling the story about the car, and it was kind of neat. It was fun yesterday. But we got lots of cool stuff to see. If you haven't seen already in the background, the Magna pins we've been talking about that I got up in Cleveland back in August finally showed up Saturday night about 3 o'clock in the morning. And we got about 25 cases of the 32. So those are going to Plano Super Bowl tomorrow. They're doing a mag tournament up there where they use Magna pins. They put out a bad shot on the lanes, so I kept it clean there. They put a bad shot on the lanes, the Magna pins, and it's a 7-game marathon, I believe.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try that on Wednesday. But that showed up. I got some other cool stuff that showed up too. There's some cool boxes, Amflight registered boxes. What is that, Nile Tough box?
Yeah, what's
that
left of
didn't weather very well. It was pretty bad to begin with.
Hi, Rep.
Got some cool rig boards over there. Got some other stuff. We won't give it all away yet. And there's some cool pins that were made by one of our faithful viewers, Mr. Mangle. Painted up some custom pins for us and sent me a busted bowling ball to try to break on the lane.
We think we should find a bridge somewhere and.
Yeah, it might be better, but I'll try it down the lane one time.
Okay.
So, what's everybody up to today? Anybody got any bowling news? Anything good to tell about? Hopefully, any bad stuff to talk about? Show us your pin, Mike.
Which one? Oh,
This one,
okay.
made by Mangle,
Yes.
custom made.
It's got the A2
The old
deck
A2
shield,
deck
the old
shield.
A2 original deck shield,
And
on the
gold
one
rake.
side. Oh, that's right. Okay, that's what that. I'm glad you pointed that out.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now I know what that is. Is that a cross up there? I don't
Looks
know.
like.
Yeah, it looks like a cross. Looks like a tower to a church.
Now
So
flip
looks
it
cool.
around.
And then on this side, we
Hide
have
the
the
drift.
Dallas Police Department logo, who that's who I work for, 911, that's me. So that's cool. It's like, okay, which side do I put it on?
Yeah.
It's
Or you
like-
can flip it around
Yeah,
every once
you
in a
know.
while and kind of
Right,
change it up
exactly.
a little bit.
And then I guess the BOB's got a little bit of a paint job, but that's cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Pretty cool.
Pretty
Thank
cool,
you for
pretty
all the
cool,
nice
yeah.
work. I
Yeah.
got to show you the one that I got for the Trixie. One side is red, the old license plate, but flipped it around the other side to get turquoise Trixie and the 57 license plate that's on there too.
Now,
Pretty nice.
The red one was Fred, right?
Red Fred, right said Red Fred.
Did you sold it, right?
Yeah, I sold
Okay.
that one off. Had two 57s at one time, but had to simplify things a little bit. And
Funny
scale
enough,
back.
on the
Yes.
way up here from church, there was I was coming north on Marsh, going southbound, a 60, the year after your Impala.
61 Impala was mine.
62 it had to be.
Really?
It had the other funny looking
No, that
fence.
would have been a 60. Was it
Oh,
blue?
yeah.
That was in the car show yesterday.
Well, it was broken down. It was in the left turn
Oh,
lane
no.
on southbound Marsh. I was like, oh no. I said, well, I'm sure the owner will be back for that very
Sorry,
soon.
y'all.
So I'm
And
sure he wasn't far
if
away.
it's the same one, because it was in the car show yesterday, it was a 1960 Impala,
Okay.
original owner.
Oh wow.
They had the original. They said it was bought by the family, like $2,100 back in 1960.
Wow.
Even had a brochure with the 1960 Chevy on it. And let me, actually, I can show you, and you can say, yeah, that's the car that I saw, or that's not the car that I saw. Well, there's that shot of it.
Yep.
But
That's it.
this is the car that he thinks he saw earlier today,
There was
broken
one
down.
that color.
That was at the car show yesterday. But it was pretty neat. There was a lot of good stuff at the car show yesterday. But it was about a 5-hour process of standing around. But it's worth it in the end. I got the award for best interior. Well, Trixie got the award for best interior. So now she's an award-winning 57 Chevy.
And I'm gonna dress up as Miss Doubtfire so I can ride in the back. That's what I would look like instead of Miss Daisy.
Yeah, you could be Miss Doubtfire.
Yeah.
Driving Miss Doubtfire, we're going to put Mike in the back in a dress. Is it with or without the pie in the face?
That was the best part.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
no.
You know, I have never seen that movie before.
Oh my
Oh,
God!
good
you
Lord.
gotta see it. It is the best.
I know. There's a lot of movies I
It
haven't
is the
seen.
best.
Okay, we're gonna have to change that tonight.
Okay,
What do we need to change?
you're watching Mrs. Doubtfire. It sounds
All right.
like.
I guess we're watching Miss Doubtfire tonight. But let's see. Show them your bowling pin that you got, the Max Crown.
Oh yeah. So
Also from Mangle.
Mangle sent me a Max Crown, and this is with the new USB-C logo. On the in the B, the little circular part is different. It just says approved, whatever. What is that? Bowl.com, I think it says. I can't read that small, but I believe that's what it says. And then on the back, we got the new USB-C approval logo, and I have this one's matching sibling in red crown and blue labeling. So
Now you
thank
have
you,
a
sir.
glow.
I have a glow crown and non-glow crown in
Very
this
nice.
version, so that's great. So just that's what's on the pins now. This and this logo. The lens pins, the batch that Plano Super Bowl and Josh got already had that logo. Funny enough, the Taiwan-made pins had the logo before the American-made ones. So interesting on that.
They copied it.
Well, they had to because they're pins used in America. So anyway, something else. I was watching the World Bowling Championships in Dubai. They had it at Dubai International Bowling Center, and
When was the tournament?
it was last weekend.
Okay.
Not this.
I guess I need to look that up.
Yeah, well, the bowling center, I follow Missy Parkin She and my sister-in-law went to school here. Missy Parkin is a professional bowler, lady professional bowler. Very good. Throws it really awesome, one-handed.
Oh, come on.
I mean,
That's what I've never seen is a female one-hand bowler. Or I'm sorry, two-handed
yeah,
bowler.
she bowls one-handed.
Okay.
She throws it very
She's
well.
normal,
she
good.
throws it very well.
That's what I never seen. Now think about it. I've never seen a female two-handed bowler before.
Yeah, they're out there, but I don't think I've seen any on the LP or the Ladies Pro Bowlers Tour. I don't know if they call it the LPBT anymore or what. But she had a video of them practicing, and I heard the sound of twisters. And I said, the sound of twister pins. And she said, well, those are for practice only. So when they started qualifying and she put some videos up, I heard the smash of brand new AM flights.
Okay.
Or, well, AMF made pins. I wasn't sure what they were. Well, I got to looking at some of the videos and I thought, that's a weird looking triangle on those pins. Well, they had pins made special for that tournament.
Aha.
And on the interesting note is they don't have that label on the back. They had something else. I messaged her, said, hey, if you can get one of those, get me one. I don't think she saw my message in time. Oh, which way am I looking? This way?
Either way.
So, anyway, but they had special make pins. I guess they must have gotten those made before the shortage of pins
Yeah, that's
came
true.
up, because this bowling center had to be at least 40 lanes, if
Really?
not more.
That'd be a lot of pins.
And then they did the...
And one could be missing and nobody would know any different.
Well, that's true. A case could be missing and no one knows any different. But
Yeah.
interesting enough, the finals they had 2 lanes set up outside. And I thought, yeah, I don't know how warm it is over there. I'm sure it's warm.
Remember when they did that on the Pro Bowlers thing? It was some kind of a...
In Vegas.
It was like in the parking lot at Disney World or something.
Well, they did that, but they also had a finals in Vegas, because I remember Missy made the finals in that, and she was talking about it was kind of dusty and,
Yeah, but I mean, it was out in like the 100-degree heat in a parking lot. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
And they were like sweating to death, and the sun was drying the oil down. You could tell the lanes were hooking.
And that's exactly what happened.
I'm sure they never do that again, though. But show them the U-Strike pin that showed up from Cleveland.
So
while we were in Cleveland,
I found one of these bad boys, and I told Robert, you need this in your life, because I
didn't
have one. So it's been used, but it's in good shape. The label's all there. There's a label on the back. Unfortunately, a lot of these, the labels, I guess it's on top of the top coat, so they wear off.
Yeah.
So it was fortunate to find one with a label on it. It needs a washing.
A magic eraser.
A magic eraser washing, and it will be beautiful.
If you never tried the magic eraser on your bowling pins, try it. You can put it on a new pin, and it does not dull the finish up. If you got a flyer with kind of the dull kind of finish on it, it actually makes it shinier.
Yeah.
Look at that flyer stripe up there compared to the flyer crown.
Yeah, exactly.
It's way up there, but I've got a flyer stripe up on there, and it's actually got a nice shiny finish on it now, whereas before it kind of had that dull finish that the flyers always had. It's like they ink it on the outside, and the ink actually bleeds, and it rubs off on anything it touches. But the magic eraser actually gave it a nice shiny finish, but it will clean all the little scuff marks and anything off your pins and make them look 10 times better. So if you haven't tried the magic eraser, just get you one at the store, order them on Amazon. They have knockoff versions. You can get like a 12-pack for like $5 and clean your pins up.
It works.
Also in the boxes of 250 some odd, we got 320 total, but only about 250 made the trip. He had the van packed full and couldn't get everything in, but there's the burnt version. There's about 3 of those in there. Grab that one. These pins are actually magnets that were in a bowling alley fire, and these are surviving. I actually have one on the shelf up there, the one next to the gold twister that I used as Scotch-Brite on, cleaned up, and it actually looks pretty nice.
Doesn't smell like structure fire.
Yeah, but...
I know, I'm weird, but...
I'm not sure what bowling alley that was. I think they told us.
Yeah, I think he told us, but...
He's got soot coming off on his hands there.
Coming off of it, oh well.
I found a few other oddities. In there, I found one Amflight registered that was recoated like the
Magna pins.
Like the Magna pins. Got the 3 stripes. and they actually have like an AMF triangle tape that they put on there, because the rest of them had
Yeah.
a triangle tape off
Mhm.
on the labels. But, you know, most of the label is covered, but this one was recoated.
And there's the eagle.
They
what's
left the eagle, yeah.
Kind of, but anyway, but yeah, it's all there for the most part.
So that'll
And
be,
then there's the baseless base.
yeah, that'll be staying in the personal collection of, that's kind of weird.
It is kind
Stuff.
of strange. It is, see something here.
He's gonna check the finer details of it.
Yeah, let's see.
All right, where's everybody
Permits.
today? Who's tuning in from what part of the
Oh, it's
country?
got 302.
And who's new? Who's new to the channel? Thanks for joining us. For those of you that are still with us, thank you for continuing to watch, and your comments and feedback are always appreciated.
You know, what's interesting about this pen, Robert, it was not used very much before it was recoated
Yeah,
because it's not separated from the wood, the Serwin.
Do
Anyway,
do the magic or erasers work on belt burn? Does it take that off?
some of the, if it's very surface,
if it's
it
got to be
will.
really light, like if it just got grazed by the belt and you can't
Yeah.
really feel like it burn into the surlin or the plastic, it will actually take it off if it's a real light belt burn. But if it's one that,
Got chewed
like,
up.
you know, got on there and like chewed part of the coating down, you're gonna have to maybe take a little sandpaper to it or something to get the heavy stuff, because that's the magic eraser. I mean, it you know, it's almost like, you know, you need something heavy duty to get into the belt burn to get the black out of it. But if it's a light one, yeah, it'll make it go away completely. We've had a couple here that just grazed the belt, use the magic eraser on it, and you can't even tell it ever
Yeah,
happened.
see, if I take like a magic, not that this pen needs that much, but like in there, it'll take whatever dirt's in that scuff out because it's not, you know, it's pretty surface.
Maybe if you got like a toothbrush and
Yeah.
little soap got into any little cuts in the pen or something,
But yeah,
it would-
this
it'll
one
take it
clean
off,
up
but
nice.
yeah.
I mean, this one hardly in the
yeah,
machine very
anything
well.
light belt burn, yes, it will work.
Hi, David. Do you
So-
want to tell them what
Oh.
you've been working on the machine? That's why it's not running right now.
Well, the machine is working now. I'm almost done, but I've done a complete gearbox clutch teardown and worm shaft removal.
And
Like
David
Granny
is
Petty
here
for a
too.
machine.
So.
David H.
Yeah.
Hey, David H. Who's been there's Mike. I've been asking him a lot of questions. I haven't done a gearbox clutch teardown in a long time, so he kind of gave me some pointers and stuff. And the one thing, yes,
Funny enough, you say that. He's the one that taught me how to adjust gearbox clutches
Aha.
at West, and we had to go out and look for one, which I was surprised we found one that was slightly out of adjustment.
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
David and Raleigh and Randy used to keep the pin setters at Don Carter East and West in top-notch shape,
Oh,
which is probably
West
the
was-
only reason they're running to this day. I'm sure there's stuff on there now that hasn't been touched since they were here, and they're still
Oh yeah.
working. But I knew it'd be a pretty good video for a gearbox clutch teardown. It's the one thing I haven't really torn into on the pin setter. So I did the clutch. The only thing I didn't do that David told me to do was put a big C-clamp on the 4-to-1. So I'll remember to do that next time.
Not at all, Jake. Welcome. Hello.
But I did get the worm shaft out. I'm doing a video on the whole project. So if you're out there working on pin setters and you have no idea how a gearbox clutch works, how to take one apart, put it back together, you will after I get done with the video, because it's going to be about, you know, a 30-minute video, but it shows all the steps, taking it apart, what to look for, how to put it together, what order, and everything else. So, you know, then I kind of try to explain how it works. So it's not just there's the clutch. I actually try to show how it actually works, so you kind of understand it a little bit more. So I've been doing that. It's actually running right now if I wanted to. I haven't done any fine tuning on the adjustments. It stops a little bit before 0, I believe, so I need to tweak the clutch just a hair. But it was nice. Actually, you know, I found out when I took it apart that it had been overhauled. I guess when they put it in the church, it has all new quality parts on it.
Oh wow.
The
Okay.
cap or the cone is a new quality part. The clutch itself, the facings, looks like it was a brand new pulley on there. The facings are real thick. The facings on the actual gearbox, the shoe itself are good, and the shoes are brand new.
Oh wow.
So whoever put it in at the church must have done a complete overhaul on that. and then put them in. So
Did we get the A2 pulley?
did not get the A2 pulley.
Boo.
I've
and
looked.
hiss.
I know there. Well, I haven't looked through everything, but I pretty much I can almost guarantee you that it's not in there. I did get some other cool stuff though.
Stuck that in our bag.
I know we
Oh,
should have
well.
brought that back in our suitcase, but he was going to be here in a couple of weeks. It was going to all be in that. So
Okay. Well, that's good.
he's got a bunch of stuff still up in Detroit for me that he's going to bring down here again, the shipper, and including going by and picking up 2 Streamline masking units for me. That'll be a really cool addition. Those are rare and old.
It is currently 66 and partly cloudy in Dallas.
What sorry. What about the gold crowns?
By the
Are
way,
they-
there's Aaron over here on the back side doing all the work from the control center.
Dun, dun, dun.
And
So what about the gold crown masking units? Are they coming in the next load?
those will be in the next load. I got a couple extra gold crown mask units because you can't have enough of those. Let's see.
Did I hear a
Still got that going on. He checked my temp this morning. I was at like 99. So I guess it just he drugged me up. I got to give Aaron credit. Got me on the Advil, Tylenol. What all did you get me on last night?
Tylenol every 4 hours, Advil every 4 hours, and Mucinex.
Yeah, and the
What
drink
time-
with all the stuff in it that I was.
Oh
guzzling.
yeah, lots of
what time did it
vitamins.
start?
Fever. I just was tired all day, but I thought it was from the car show,
Oh,
and I'd had a little bit of a cough. Then it seemed like closer I got to work, about 9 o'clock, I was like, just take my temp just to see, and he said 102.1, and then I was like, all right, get a second opinion on the other ear, and it was 102.1, and 101.2. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 101.2.
But he gave me the Tylenol, and it started going down after that.
Like
and-
within, I would say, half an hour, his temperature was
Yeah.
dropping.
you come in and wake you up every 4 hours, smack you in the head. Get up.
No, the cat tried to though, but
Oh.
no, this
I'm
morning,
always in hiding. That's my bit.
I think after a good night's sleep, I woke up feeling a lot better this morning. Temp has gone down, so.
I'll ask Mike to raise it, Beth.
So let me go get a cup. Oh, raise the masking unit? Yeah, I'll do that.
Oh,
Here,
okay.
you want this,
Yeah, I'll take
and
this.
I'll let Mike talk. I'm gonna go raise the masking
You
unit,
talk.
and let's play show and tell.
Show and tell. What else are we
Well, I
doing?
have a question for Mike.
Oh, what's up?
Where'd you go to college?
College. I went to UT Arlington for a semester, and then UT Dallas. So local stuff.
And notice in the back here, thanks to Bill, I have 2 new LED shop lights that I put up over the pin setter, so the lighting will be better to see everything.
And now two
Oh.
things to whack your head on.
Let me go move the oil pan
Exactly.
so I can get that ball back, and that's
Oh.
part of what I got also
Yeah.
from
You don't
Cleveland.
leave the oil pan in the ball.
That'll
track.
be
That
neat
could
to
be
look at.
messy. Oh man, that would. I've had one fall off
No,
out of
thank
the
you.
machine, and it was it was hateful because that just gets. Of course, it gets everywhere, and of course,
course.
do the people stop bowling? No.
No,
So
never.
it's clanging around in the pinwheel, and
What was it?
I had an oil pan fall off.
Oh,
And it fell down and it fell into the pinwheel, but of course it on its way down splat everywhere.
all right, ball's coming back.
Okay, here
Oh,
comes-
it's gonna smack that plastic thing, but no, it doesn't matter.
Oh, second ball.
I've got like 40 pins in the machine to clear a path, so
40 pins in the machine. What's up with that?
there we go.
And
Now we got it back.
anyway,
That just reminded me of another thing that didn't make the trip either were the lift rods.
uh-oh.
The A lift rods. Oh, I forgot. I'm supposed to leave that up.
A lift rods, the
A
Crown
lift
Imperial
rods,
bowling ball.
the hockey sticks, the cushion. The main part, I don't know what to call it, that goes across the top that raises the rake up and down. I got one of those too.
Rake raising thing.
But while I was at the
Oh yes.
bowling alley at Twin Lanes, found this last time we were up there. It even says Twin Lanes on the top, which is kind of cool.
Does it say Bantam on it? I believe that's what it says.
Yep, it's
Yep.
the Brunswick Bantam ball.
Yes.
So I saw that, had to have it. Mike has one that's in much better shape than this one, but now at least I've got one.
It is the ball I began bowling with at Expressway Lanes in Dallas, Texas.
Mine was the yellow speckle ball, which I have one
Yes,
back
and
there
those two.
in one of the ball cleaners. So,
Robert,
yes,
rake, lift, shaft.
that's
There
the
it
rake
is.
lift shaft.
That's it.
Okay, the rake lift shaft. Is that David H?
David Harris.
No,
Oh.
Who was it?
Rep.
Oh,
Rep?
Well, there we
Okay,
go.
Rep.
I swear, he knows everything.
Rip,
Oh,
yeah. Rip has been a great new asset to our friend list. Has done a lot of good stuff for us. Knows a lot of things. But here are the rake lift shafts. That actually, this is the stuff that goes from the hockey sticks to the or up to the top, down to the rake that raises and lowers the rake. Because they're different on the A2 and the A, at least the back
I
pair.
forgot all this stuff.
Let's see. We got the rake board. This isn't the original one that would have been on up there, but it is one of the fiberglass rake boards. But it's got
That's-
the cool old Brunswick gold sticker on
That's
it.
one of the original A rake boards.
Rod J says the original one, which I didn't notice till I looked at it, is this one. The font is different,
Well,
just a little bit.
the font's different, but
But it's a three-piece, and I got the ears. The ears actually came in there, so I
Right.
could actually put one of these on at this point.
that rake board itself is an original A rake board because they had one that was straight across like that, and then they had one that had a crown, kind of a point.
Yeah, Rod J's been telling me that.
Blazer Bowl had those.
Huh.
The-
So you and Rod J can talk rakes better than I can.
Rake.
And this is what magnesium, right?
That is magnesium.
Or magnesium rake board.
Do not burn it.
But see, look at the difference. You put them down there,
Oh yeah.
and there
The
is.
Brunswick's spaced further out.
Mike,
Show
Oh wait. Okay, I'm sorry.
if you can see it. The font is actually a tighter font on that one
Yeah, it is.
than the other one. And actually, I noticed the end of the rake sticker is angled.
That's
On
probably,
the older one.
Probably because of that. Because I think it has a point. Does it not have kind of a point where it comes up more in the middle?
You know, it does.
See, that would have gone on one of those other
It does, and it doesn't.
rake boards.
It doesn't really fit on here either.
No, but
Because there's this lip on here from the magnesium rake board, and it's tucked under the edge of it. You know, there used to be another sticker on here.
yep.
There
And
used to be another sticker.
And I bet you that sticker that was on that one was the Brunswick.
Like the
Get-
one on the wall
Get
with
that
the.
one down, please. Sorry, I don't mean to be bossy.
No, that's okay.
Does that one have the crown in it? Because
Yeah, it does. It's actually crowned.
So that's what that sticker would have gone on.
If you look at this rake board,
There it is.
it's crowned in the middle.
Yep.
And this had another. No, this is the same sticker. I think it just melted down. See, it's hanging down here. I was going to try to get a heat gun or something and maybe try to slide it back up in place.
So
So yeah, this sticker is actually crowned, which would have fit on this board better because it's tucked under here on the top. And there used to be another sticker here because if you look on the edge, there's the residue of an old sticker right there that used to be on the edge.
wonder if it was one of those.
Hard to
Because that would
say.
have been.
if they'd stopped talking, I'd answer some of your questions.
What's the
What
question?
you got?
If you're absent from league, who would film the bowling for you two?
Oh, well, nobody, unfortunately, because they got to have my YouTube account to be able to go live, and that would have to be on my phone, or I'd have to have Bill log in to YouTube and do all that, and he wouldn't have, no offense, Bill, but I don't think he'd be able to figure all that out, setting up the thumbnail and all the other stuff. So if I'm not there, we would not have a live from USA Bowl and Lane 19.
What are we doing? Where am I?
Oh.
Where am I holding it? Where am I putting it?
We're currently looking at his crotch.
Oh, whoops.
Oh,
I thought I was holding it down far enough. Pardon moi.
all right. Back in the telescores, I guess if they didn't want to use the plastic sheets, I found this also. It's like an insert you put on the telescore. You could write your score on it when you're done. Just erase it. It's
Nifty.
printed. I believe the ink is on the back, or is it? I don't know, but I guess if you could, it was a reusable telescore sheet, so you didn't have to have the plastic
Yeah, cool.
sheets in there.
Don't
Which I
be
thought was
sorry,
kinda-
Jake.
Property of K Company. I was hoping there'd be some Oh, Windsor William R. Smith Realty.
Long Meadow
Or-
Pharmacy.
Le Expo Restaurant and Pizza for your dining pleasure, finest Italian cuisine.
Finest.
Infield Square. Takeout orders. Call 203-745-6054 today.
Get you some.
And if you're sick, go to East Long Meadow Pharmacy. Select your pharmacist as you would your physician.
Ah.
At 53 North Main Street.
In what city?
None of this says so.
Oh, okay.
So it's just a
Interesting.
guess. I'm guessing it was Cleveland.
Maybe.
We don't know how it got bent, Beth. He just got those, so
Let's see. Found up there, which I thought was kind of cool, in Cleveland in the back, was the old desk microphone,
180 on 50.
I can't see it.
Oh, sorry.
or the old desk microphone, I guess. 180 on 50, 180 on 50. Then the other handheld mic, which is kind of one of those old cool like Elvis mics. It's kind of neat looking, but plug and play just didn't have a stand on it. I saw those. They were clearing out the bowling alley. Everything had to go. So I got them. I got it.
I guess we'll hook them up. Who knows?
I should. Then Mike or Aaron could get on there and yell at me over the
Scream at you.
True.
microphone. Oh yeah, here we go.
The-
Found, not in the greatest shape, but the ears for the
Was it that way?
rake board.
What the hell happened to that one?
And it must have been rubbing on something for a long time. I mean, that's like rubbing
Yeah, that's like
Like-
chewed on.
over and over again.
What? Like that? Okay.
Are we doing the midsection shot again?
I'm sorry. I thought it was getting thin.
Let's see, there's a box full of switches for masking units and some light sockets. I won't bring these over. But
No.
a new addition will be new flat gutters,
Plastic or
new
fiberglass
plastic,
or whatever.
I think they're plastic flat gutters. Up,
Up.
there we go.
Oh.
I got a pair of these, so we'll be putting those in along with, in the bed of my truck is a not a brand new, but a phenolic pen deck. The Plano Super Bowl. Did I tell you I got that?
You told me you were going to get it. You
Yeah.
got it.
I got the phenolic pen deck that they put in Plano Super Bowl evidently back in about 1985, and they just swapped them out and put new ones in.
Uh-huh.
So I got one.
Julio, the cost is not really the machine itself. The part that's expensive is getting someone to move it for you. The machines themselves, you can find them easily for just a couple $100.
But you're talking about moving 200 and 300 pound sections of pin setters. You got to know how to assemble them. You got to have the space to put one in. You need the 220. There's a lot of things. You just can't go out and get a pin setter, throw it in, and have a bowling alley.
Right.
It's not like putting up Christmas lights.
No,
It is not.
you definitely need a proper foundation for it.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. It is not like a 200 pound machine you just bring home. You're talking about 2,000 pounds worth of.
Stuff.
It's a big task. Then the other day I saw this, $20, bought it. It's the 8230 pin spotter manual. Notice I said pin spotter. It's kind of cool. It has pictures
Oh, yes.
and everything in here.
Sweep. I'm sorry. Ooh.
Sweep.
Whoops.
But it is from Stanton Lanes Inc., which I looked up was the bowling alley up in Pennsylvania, and they just closed. It said on their Facebook page, closed unexpectedly. Like,
No, I saw that where a post about that where that place closed unexpectedly.
really?
Yeah, it was sad. Yeah.
Yeah, but the pin spotter manual came up, and I don't have one of these. I asked Josh; he's got 3 of them, I think. So, and off to the side, we're not going to show it, but there is a special project that I've been working on now for a couple of weeks. We need one big key piece to finish it out. Few people know what it is. If you do, keep quiet. We're one to be a surprise for everybody else, but it's something really neat to look forward to.
I know what it is.
Putting
Mike?
an 8230 sweep on an A2.
Yep, that's it. I'm going to hook up an 8230 table to a Brunswick.
Hilarious.
Also up in Cleveland, I found a few more done rights. I've got about 10 or 11 more. I found this one, which I can't remember what was on it. The pin was just neat, and I figured I'd just snag it.
I had that pin with the complete label, but somebody wanted it really bad, so I sold it to them.
Wasn't me.
No, it was a.
What was the
something-
pin?
It was a bowling and billiard something.
Really?
Yeah.
Here, look at it close. If you can recognize the label or if you have one, I'd be curious to see a picture of it.
Somebody should have one because they bought it from me.
Yeah, but it's pretty neat. It has kind of the done right stripe on it. And then we also got about 2.5 cases of brand new mixer pins.
Mixers.
A Score King, not a Score King 50, got a flyer. Oh yeah, the main part that goes on for the A, couple more parts. This is where the shotgun is on an A2. The shotgun comes off and this goes on. You just have the rod. That raises and lowers the rake. This connected to the rake lift shaft. Now I know the proper terminology. This is the cam follower with the 90-degree over travel thing and all that. This goes on the one-to-one that controls the rake, sweep, and all that. So I'll be putting this back on mine when I do the A conversion. There's no secret now that that's going to be going on.
Is that Otis Green?
That is Otis Green. This is off, I think they're serial number 10,000 pin setters up in
Okay.
Cleveland.
Okay, let's say it's got the green.
Yeah.
Where is that, Julio?
Where is what? Oh. Okay. Got that. I got some masking in it for the gold crowns. When you raise them up, there's supposed to be a little reel in the bracket and attaches to the top of the masking unit when you raise it to help hold it up. Got 4 of those. And I'm sure I'll come up with something else.
What is your favorite donut?
My favorite donut? Oh, I like the custard-filled Boston cream, whatever you want to call it.
Gross.
That's probably one of my favorites, but probably just a chocolate glaze hot from Krispy Kreme.
I'm sorry. I can't say.
What?
Dirty thought. Okay. Anyway,
I'm trying to keep it family style here,
I
and
know,
y'all
but-
are.
I was about to say something. I said, no, Mike, no.
I'm gonna
I'm-
go clean my dirty hands off here.
I'm a bit of an oddball. I want a day-old plain glaze. Do not give me a fresh donut.
You
I don't
know
want
what?
it.
My parents in Whittier, when they lived in Whittier, California, there was a donut shop in the shopping center. That's on me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't have to turn this on myself.
I'm just
Hold on.
washing my hands.
Anyway, they had kind of fancy donuts, and they had maple glazed donuts, and it had bacon bits in it. Oh,
Okay.
my God. It was so good.
I would try that.
Yes, it is very good. But some of them they had were pretty over the top, but that one was quite amazing. So,
If you won the lottery, what would you do with it not bowling?
what would I do with it not bowling?
Yeah.
Well,
What was the question? What would
if I
you
won
do
the
without
lottery, what would I
bowling?
do not bowling? I would probably would pay off the house in Anna.
There you go.
You got it?
Here.
Oh, gracias.
We're getting the hand sanitizer on there since we cross-contaminated here.
I'm sure there's some pipe organ in some major church that needs to be rebuilt, restored, or something that I would say, here you go, make it happen.
Oh, is this if you won $1 million, what would you do?
If I won the lottery, what would I do?
Oh, okay.
And that's to start.
Well,
I mean,
there better
you
be
know.
a bowling alley
Well, that's what
somewhere.
it said, not
Nope.
bowling.
No bowling?
No, not bowling. But I mean, there would be, of course. But I mean, yeah, outside of that.
That'd be a tough one. Well, I guess, yeah, if the winnings of the lottery could not be used for a bowling alley, then liquidate personal assets, buy a bowling alley, and then live off the lottery winnings, and that way the lottery winnings wouldn't have bought a bowling alley.
You knew they were going to do that, Jake.
What can I say other than, how about your garage has 250 plus magnesium bowling pins in it,
It's a fire.
but nobody
hazard.
else can say
Yeah,
that today.
that's what I was just thinking. We better
He's
not
outta
have a
here.
fire.
We got a whole pile of
It's like
boxes
having a
over here that
Hindenburg
are
parked in your
taken.
garage.
Yeah, they're going to be going to Plano Super Bowl tomorrow.
Well,
So
It's not that bad because magnesium itself in its pin form, unless we go over there and throw lighter fluid on them and go,
put them in the
know,
grill.
they're not gonna light up.
Yeah, they're not like
I mean, 'cause
lacquer.
look at these that
They're
were
not
in the
like lacquer
fire.
lanes that might.
I mean, that was in a fire, and look how it didn't just.
Yeah.
Now, a lacquer coated pin like a Score King or a Mixer or something.
that would've just
that
fed the
would have lit
fire
up
and-
because that plastic had a lower flash point.
Yeah. Show them the other magnet pin there with the different label.
Oh,
we found
yeah.
a few that are in there that we may hang on to a couple. It had a different label on it that we hadn't seen before.
So we don't know. Well, I think this was the last label that they did because there's a label that has the more ornate explosion, as it were.
Right.
And then there was a label that was the decal that had the explosion. And then they went to this red in the end. So, yeah. And of course, it's got that on the back.
the synthetic logo.
Yeah, and then that on the front. So.
Show the blue painted pins.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll get those here in a sec. Oh, here we got to show what Mangle did for Aaron. He got us all personal pins, and there's a story behind that. But here is the pin for Aaron. It's the cow pin. Aaron likes cows, and to match Aaron's bowling ball, the cow ball is the cow pin. And that ball, yes, needs to be cleaned up quite a bit. It's been used in the garage a number of times when the lanes have not been clean, and it's scuffed up pretty good. Also got a broken bowling ball from Mangle to throw in the lane. See if we can break it, as long as I don't do any more damage to the lane like the last ball that I threw in the lane that took a chunk out of the finish.
I say we go to a bridge and just
Drop it off on some unsuspecting road below.
Well, not like that. Maybe we can find someone that's got property.
Yeah.
Yeah, and drop it off there.
Here, hold that, and I'll go get some of the blue pins.
Oh, we got.
There's a couple of them that they had done some modifications to. Got them here.
to make the color pin sweeper not fun.
This weighs 4.5 pounds. The other magnet pins weighed 3.5 pounds. I weighed them, and somebody got creative at one point, I guess, for color pin sweeper or something, and painted up. But it is a magnet pin. But this pin, if you could feel it, actually is separated on the inside. But it weighs and it's heavier than the normal magnet pins.
Does it lay down flat, or does it still do? Oh, well, doesn't do much.
Yeah, it doesn't. And then this one too, I found. I think it's the same thing. It's a heavyweight. I can barely see the label underneath it. That's maybe the decal label, like you're talking about.
Well,
as you can see, the raised.
yeah,
decal on there.
they had even the red. Oh,
There
that
we
one.
go.
Yeah, there it doesn't lay flat on the ground. Sorry, I'm not
Yeah,
used to this.
but yeah, this one doesn't even.
It's like a
stands
seesaw.
up. But this will be fun with the magnet pins coming up in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So don't go too high.
I know. That's what I'm trying. Okay, let me just
Yeah.
go this way.
I do wish Martha Stewart Wine Company would sponsor us. Throw us a case. There you go. Come on, Martha Stewart.
There
Martha
we go.
Stewart.
But yeah, there's about 4 of those that weigh like an extra pound or so more. There's a couple more burnt ones back over there. We got a couple more with the funny labels on them. Got a couple of cases of mixers over there. Got an Amflight registered box. Some more wood crates. About 15 or 16 mixers. The rest of them, I guess, are coming in the last of the load. Some of them must have fallen out, I guess, because we had 3 cases total. So those are coming later. Oh, the phone, I forgot.
Are
Oh.
you gonna go live during the tournament?
Possibly.
Because you're bowling with Josh, right?
No, they're drawing lanes. I don't know who's bowling with who. So
I
Oh, you're
imagine
bowling
he
it?
has some pool.
I hope so.
What time's the tournament?
I think it starts at 7.
Oh, really?
So
7 p.m.
I think, yeah.
and you have to bowl 7 games.
Yep.
Holy cow!
Well, it's not going to be like 4 people on each lane and 7 games, where it's going to be.
yeah,
I think
but
it's going to be a
still.
little. It's probably going to be 2 a lane, I'm guessing, probably, and so it'll go a lot quicker than that. I've never bowled. I don't bowl tournaments. I should. I haven't. I need to start. So I'm going to do this mag tournament on these pins.
I know, Hedgehog. I was just playing.
But if we can go live, I will go live. But if the people in bowling, I don't know them, or they say they don't want to be on live, then I won't. But I would like to be able to go live and show the magnesium pins in action.
Or
If not,
in
I'll
action.
maybe do some video or something that I can post later just to show Magna pins as they actually are bowled on a regular setup. That could be fun. I got one other cool thing. Oh, here we go. This came from Ron up in Canada. He sent me a bunch of other stuff too, which is part of the surprise. We won't go into that today. But he sent this pin,
It's a 5-pin.
a 5-pin, and it's got that label on it, and then it's got another label on the back. And Mike said you've got the regular version of that pin, or
Well,
you've got a 5-pin?
I have a 5-pin that has this very same logo, and it says Permit 97. Well, PBS Professional Bowling Supply makes a pin called the Blue Star, and it is Permit 97. And the Blue Star pin has this logo in this color scheme, and then it has the logo like this with solid blue. And so it's interesting that it still says Permit 97 on it, but this is part of the same logo on the 10-pin version that they make. And the 10-pin version's got 2 red stripes. It doesn't have the blue and the red.
The Now Tough stripes.
Well, that's
Are those
blue,
correct?
so-
Now Tough,
Now Toughs are
on
black
the
and
bottom.
red.
Okay,
Black
I didn't
on the
know it was
bottom,
black,
red on the
or
top.
red, black.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, thank you, Ron, for sending that along
Yeah,
with
that's
everything.
pretty neat little logo on the
And
back
also,
there.
if you can see over there, over the ball return, where the new ball is hanging, is a string pin off a old pin setter that he got. It's
5-pin.
pneumatic.
Anyone see Mr. Bill?
Oh yeah, Mr. Bill.
Oh.
Does anybody see Mr. Bill in the shop there? He's over there.
Yep.
He's definitely there.
Yep. But he bought this old pin setter. He's got a bunch of cool stuff in his collection. It's an old pin setter. He can tell you more about it, or if he did a video, I could upload it on our page, which would be kind of neat to do that. Maybe if Ron could do that, I'll
That's-
talk to him about it.
His username is RTR Ron.
And I asked him what the RTR was, like Rotoron or what are you saying? It's just his initials. Somebody set up his Facebook page for him, and those were his initials, so they just put him in RTR as initials, then Ron. So I thought there was a different story to it behind that, but that's all it was. But he's got a lot of cool bowling stuff.
That would be cool, Hedgehog.
What's that? Oh, yeah, he's got a bunch of cool bowling stuff along with this pin setter. He thinks it may have been from the 60s. It's pneumatic, and it's a string pin setter for the 5-pins. It's pretty neat. He showed me operating video on it. I guess he got it working, so maybe I can talk him into doing a video on that. He can send it to me somehow, and I can upload it and have it on the page. It'll be something neat to look at. So hold this for a moment, and I'll go get another cool thing that showed up from Cleveland. Completely unrelated to bowling.
Go bowling.
All right.
Got
this is, I've never seen anything like this before, is a
Avon
payphone.
calling.
This is a payphone. Coin return, had the instructions on it, I don't know, 1 quarter, and there's actually a quarter or two in it. But it's got a key in the back and I can't open it. Still got the plastic on the cord, but I've never seen anything like it before. And maybe some business thing like these ATMs you see pop up everywhere that are not bank owned. Maybe somebody came up with it. But it's got a key in the back. I guess it's got a mount right there. And put your quarter in the top, make your phone call. Push buttons. Anybody seen a push button phone lately? At least not rotary. Coin return. But anyways, saw that with Bill, and Bill's like, yeah, to get that. So I got it.
You know, for those that were raised Roman Catholic and old school, there's I guess, an old chant. It's called Sursum Corda. And we used to say, insert a quota. So when you said insert a quarter, I was like thinking, having a Catholic flashback.
Reminded you.
Oh, yeah.
That's true, y'all.
But,
Rob, they're saying it probably came out of a motel.
oh, really?
I was wondering
Like
that.
in the room of a motel?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was kind of wondering. Probably at a
That makes sense.
hotel, motel holiday. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah, there's no phone number on it, but it's got the cord on the bottom of it, like you just plug in the wall. I guess like the Brady Bunch, you could just plug it in, and then if some kids in the family wanted to use the phone, they got to put a quarter in and pay for their phone time.
Are you into soup?
Do what?
Do you like soup?
Do I like soup? Yes.
What kind?
Probably if I had my favorite, probably be just a simple chicken noodle soup. Or French onion soup is actually probably my favorite on a cruise ship, but that's a lot of work. But I'm simple, I'm easy. Chicken noodle soup is always the best. Eat all the guts of it, and then when you're done, just drink what's left and have a happy belly.
Give me creamy mushroom.
So, but yeah, I got that from Cleveland. That was on the control desk where the
Do-
lane panel was. When you go to get a lane, that was just sitting up there like they had it, and or unless they got it and just somebody set it down there, but I don't know.
Do you have any glow-in-the-dark pens?
Not glow-in-the-dark pins. Do they make glow-in-the-dark pins? Other than, well, I mean the glow pins, but I mean none of the glow-in-the-dark.
Yeah, that's them. Yeah, the pins, like the color pins,
Well,
the AMF
no,
color
man,
pins.
those glow under black light.
Right. Oh, yeah, they don't make glow in. Yeah, you have to have a black light to make them
Yeah.
do their thing.
We have some Glow Maxes. We got a set of the Glow Max crowns, and then the Twisters glow under black light. And
We got those glow amp lights, which we need to
the
retire.
Glow Amp lights. That's true.
Because the problem with those glow pins is that when they get scuffed up and chopped
don't
up,
glow so well.
the marks show up
Oh, okay.
because they come up black, and it's like, ugh. So all the pins look like they've been in an 8230 that was matted itself.
I see.
If you had your own bowling alley, what would you name it?
What would I name it? I always thought something cool, cheesy, like the Bowl-O-Rama of some sort. You know, like the Colleen Bowl-O-Rama.
Yeah. There's
I don't know. That I guess I'd like to have that challenge one day to think of a name to call a bowling alley that I own. But
there was a bowling alley in
Kingpin Lanes.
where Torrance, California. There's, of course, the Gable House Bowl, which is where they held Pro Tour stops for many years, where Pete McCordick bowled his 300 in 1987. But there was another bowling alley down the street called the Bowladrome. And,
Bowladrome?
Bowladrome, yes. And it originally started life as an AMF house, a 40, I believe it was 40 lanes, either 40 or 44 lane AMF house. When I was in it, AMF owned it, and it had A2s, and it had A2s for a while. Meaning, when I say a while, like from the late 60s, early 70s, a while. It's now, Bolero still has it, so it's been made into one of those. But it initially was called the Bowladrome, and I think if you go on Google and type Bowladrome, Torrance, California, it'll bring up ads announcing the grand opening for
But
it.
it had like 8230s when it first
It
opened.
had 8230s because it had the big bowl where you see the AMF Magic Triangle.
Kind of like, what's the bowling alley down in South Dallas that just took all the Brunswicks out of
DeSoto, AMF DeSoto
AMF
lanes
DeSoto, and they
had
took
8270s. 32 of them were from Old Preston Forest lanes where I used to bowl with my grandmother. And then the other 8, I'm not sure where they came from, but when Brunswick West Creek lanes closed, they had the last factory-made A2s from Brunswick in there, and they moved those A2s over to AMF DeSoto. And a friend of mine sent me a picture, said, "Look what DeSoto has." And I said, "What?" And sure enough, they have West Creek's A2s, and those were some well-maintained machines.
Because you got to go and remove the kickbacks too, don't you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I like that name, Jeremy.
What was the question? Oh,
Oh, he was just talking.
he's talking.
Rep said that he worked at Slocum's Bowladrome.
Slocum's,
I've seen it on YouTube.
Yep. That's where Rep worked.
that was your main house.
Bruce said there's one near him, Mayflower Lanes.
Mayflower Lanes.
Appropriately, it's on Plymouth Road.
Some what?
Mayflower Lanes on Plymouth Road.
Oh, well, there you go.
What kind of equipment do they have? Anything cool, old, or does anybody know of any cool old bowling alleys out there? I mean, like the old, Brunswick, old AMF, stuff like that.
Have y'all heard of Thornton Lanes?
Which one?
Thornton?
Thornton Hall.
Oh, Thornton Hall, yeah, up in Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah, up
Sharon,
in Sharon,
Pennsylvania.
yeah. 22 Brunswick A's, 22 82
Oh, I gotta see that place.
Oh,
one
yeah,
day.
that was Kevin Hung's picture yesterday.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah, he shared it in the group.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that place was actually up for auction about a year or two ago. I guess the owners decided to retire, and I guess
Right.
luckily somebody bought it and kept it going. Thank God, whoever you are, thank you for keeping a place like that open. But I mean, that would be the ultimate bowling alley right there.
Yeah,
Half AMF vintage, half AMF Brunswick vintage.
kick Josh on the one side.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
over there. Well, he could take care of both.
That would be a dream right there.
Yeah, but yeah,
You'd have to have a good mechanic or two good mechanics, one
Yeah.
AMF, one Brunswick.
exactly.
I'll go look now, Hedgehog.
They
You know-
could teach each other.
I was thinking, I was like, oh yeah, Star Shield's on the AMFs. Funny enough, there is a place where that happened. If you go on YouTube and look up Bowlers Club in Latham, New York, you will find YouTube videos of the PBA Tour where they had 8230s with Brunswick Star Shields
Oh,
for the
wow.
masking units. And the Star Shields were working pretty well. And this is back when they started using the gold pins.
Wow.
So there's one telecast where you got Star Shields, 8230s, and gold pins.
What I hate about the stuff now is they have their big overlays that they put over the masking units, so you can't see any of the character of the bowling
Nope.
alley. You see the same PBA masking unit every week.
Yeah.
They had their hood covers, so you don't see what the ball hoods are. They got, it's all logoed and everything, so you don't really see like the old days when you go into, like the opening to that one where Don Johnson bowled his 300 at
Riviera.
at Riviera Lanes, the opening, you see all the gold crown masking units, and you see that through the whole broadcast. Nowadays, you see the same stupid overlay every week.
Well, I guess if you had overlane returns or something goofy like that, they couldn't cover them.
That's true.
But anyway, but I'm sure they would whine about, oh my God, I got a bowl on overlane returns. Yeah, suck it up.
Have you ever been to a bowling alley that has less than 20 lanes?
Oh yeah.
Actually, we went to
A couple of them in Cleveland.
Pawnee
Mini.
Lanes
Yeah.
up in south of Cleveland about back in August. Mike and I did a video on that one, and that was only 10 lanes.
Right.
And Dickey's, where we went and bowled and did some extensive video
It was 8.
of the back and the front, was only 8 lanes. And there's a bowling alley up in Pennsylvania that's trying to get me to come up and work on his machines, who has 6 lanes with Star Shields.
And I've been to, I believe it's St. John's Catholic Church in Kansas City, Kansas. I was up there Super Bowl weekend when Kansas City was in the Super Bowl. They have a 6-lane bowling alley in their building. And when I was in there, I walked in and they had these crappy cardboard masking units, and I was like, oh. And the guy that runs it says, don't worry, the gold crowns are out. They've been sent to be restored and repainted. So the gold crowns are back at St. John's, and it's got A2s, and they've got synthetic lanes. Of course, they used to have wood lanes, but they've still got the old gutters. So it was 6 lanes.
Same here, Beth. What do you mean, Mangle? What's wonders of ads?
What was that?
I don't know.
Oh, I wasn't sure if he was.
He's talking in the
Oh,
microphone. I guess it was
and then
not for our concern.
in Pittsburgh, while I was up in Pittsburgh,
Where all the cool bowling alleys are.
yes, I had gone to my brother and a couple of his firefighter buddies. My brother likes to go to all the different baseball stadiums, so we went to Detroit, down to Cincinnati, back up to Cleveland, then over to Canton, Ohio, and then to Pittsburgh. Well, I have a friend that lives in Pittsburgh, and I stayed another 3 days with him. And of course, my friend and I went church hopping, and in one of the churches we went to, they had 6 lanes of rubber band duck pins, which was all manual set. But they also had 10 pins back there too, so if you wanted to do 10 pin, you could do both.
What was the one that we saw down in San Antonio that had didn't they have the mixture of
9 pin and 10 pin.
9 pin and 10
Highland
pin?
Social Club. We
Highland
went to
Social.
Highland Social Club.
I wish he would warn me when he's going to cough so I can turn his mic off.
Highland Social Club had the B10s, and you could do 10 pin bowling, but I noticed on the B10s when they do 9 pin bowling, they would put some kind of, it was like a particle board template that would fit on the bottom of the deck. So I guess because in 9 pin, when you hit the pin straight on, they tend to like to go shoom. So I think they put those on there so the decks wouldn't get damaged. But Turner Club is the one we went to that had a few lanes with A2s and Gold Crown masking units and the old B10s and 9 pin. But the A2s at Turner Club ran at A2 speed. I remember that.
Now, are they still there?
No.
Not?
Turner Club was offered a pretty handsome sum for that property, and they moved. Well, when they moved, they kept the B10 lanes, but the 10-pin lanes with the automatics, they put in that G.
Bye, Jay.
no.
Thanks for stopping by.
So,
Why?
yeah, I know. But oh
What's
well.
wrong with people?
I don't know, but hey, whatever.
Well, we try to keep everything alive here in the garage.
Hey, Jake, before you go, the plants that are in the background are plumeria. One of my moms brought it back from Hawaii, and she's been growing and splitting and growing and splitting, and so she's given us a couple. Actually,
yeah, they come in for the winter, and Karen said, bring them in, don't water them, don't look at them, just leave them. They drop all their leaves, but then in the spring you set them back outside. One of them bloomed this year, the other one did not, so hopefully the other one will bloom next year because it's got like 3 branches on it and did really, really neat blooms on it.
which is evidently normal for them. They don't bloom every year.
She said she brought like 1 plant home or 1 clipping or something, and now she has them like a forest of them, so she gave us a
Yeah,
couple.
literally everywhere.
So, anybody checked in from any crazy new places? Welcome to all our new viewers. If you got anybody new that's watching today, thanks for watching us. Normally we do bowling on the weekends, but I've been working on the pin setter doing a video this week, doing a gearbox clutch teardown, and Mike has not been feeling well. If you weren't here for the opening, he's got the shingles virus going on in him, and he's trying to get over that. And I had 101.2 temp last night, so I stayed home from work. I've been
I
coughing.
get a damn fever tonight. I'm going to call and complain if you do.
Yes. You'll be
Eh.
fine.
If he had anything that you could get, I would have.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know. That's
So
true.
luckily it's not anything contagious.
We're not drinking out of a
I'll
common
get the
cup
bowling
either.
lane, get the clutch finished up. I'm doing a video on a gearbox clutch rebuild. So if you want to know how the gearbox works, how the clutch functions, how the pin setter starts and stops, you'll know by the end of the time watching my video. And if you work in a bowling alley and want to know how to tear down a clutch, You will know by the time I get done with my video
Yes, I am, Mangle.
how it assembles and everything.
One of those shaker. You haven't done the shaker mount, have you?
I haven't been in
Oh.
there yet.
Oh,
No,
okay.
we haven't bowled either.
Oh, well, that's true.
Beth is asking if you'll show that, the progression pins.
The what?
The progression pins.
Oh, yeah.
The
Let me
only
show-
thing I'm pointing at.
Yeah, the progression pins that I got from a bowling alley up in
Archibald.
Archbold. Let me get past the payphone here that evidently came out of a hotel. I'll bet you Will Ham would know about that. He's into old appliances and stuff. Maybe he might know. But here are the progression pins. First off, here's one of Ron's cars, the one up in Canada that has the cool pin setter and some other stuff. He's got a couple of cars that he's used in a filming of a show up there on TV. I'll have to find out more about that. But here is the beginning of a bowling pin. You got the core drilled in the middle. Huh? Back up? I didn't know it was that close. But that's the first phase of a pin with the core. Then your next stage, where you laminate them together, you get that blockhead looking thing. Then next, you put on a lathe, you tear it down, you kind of get the first initial
Hi, Brendan.
makings. Notice the base is still even uncut, but then the next phase, the base is cut all the way to the top, but you have a little notch left on the top. Your next phase, you smooth it out, cut the bottom and the top down. Next phase, you smooth it out. It's got his first coat of finish on it. Next phase has got a nylon sleeve and his first coat of white. Next one is after his second coat of white, it's got a much smoother finish. You can't see the nylon in there like you can in this one. And we're not sure what brand pin that is, but those are the progression pins. Here's an old wooden bowling ball, much smaller than normal. Here's a little bit more of a normal sized ball. Another one that I've had for about 30 years. Another one, and then a recent addition is the AMF ball sizer. Top half and bottom half actually
Ball
rotate, so you can find the finger holes you like, the thumb that you like, and they can rotate the two together, and you know your measurements and span and everything. It's pretty neat.
Oh,
He's peeling off his mic
I'm
label
getting.
off the
Oh, I'm
bowling
sorry. I'm
pin.
getting stickum goo off the pin.
I got some
And-
alcohol for that
Oh,
too.
it's, yeah.
Yes,
I know,
David,
but
they
it's-
did.
Yeah. Then we
Beth
have
helped get them
also
all here.
a string pin here that you might have seen earlier. The one that Ron sent
Get the scissors.
for his string pin setter, the 5-pin pin setter. So it gets the stay of execution. It's not a real pin setter like a 10-pin,
Well, it's.
replacing a 10-pin.
Well, that's true.
And of course, Mr. Bill hanging out.
Oh no,
Oh no, Mr. Bill.
Mr. Sluggo.
I know.
You need to get a Mr. Sluggo. Don't
I tried to
kill
find a
the
sluggo, but I
It's
couldn't
going
find
down.
a sluggo.
They don't have a Sluggo.
I couldn't find a sluggo.
Oh,
I don't
that's
think.
crazy.
Or what was his dog? He had. Here comes Mr. Bill's dog. What was the
What's
dog's,
the dog's
name?
name? I don't know. Spot.
Spot. I think
Was
it
it?
was Spot. I
Oh.
think you're right.
Okay, I was just guessing.
We're talking vintage Saturday Night Live
Mhm.
back in 75, 76. You had Mr. Bill was the little clay character every week that came on and got killed like Kenny in South Park every week. He got smashed and Sluggo is his arch enemy. But Mr. Bill has made many appearances in the garage.
The best was on the rake.
Yes,
Because when the rake would sweep, he'd go, oh!
the funny one is when you didn't even know it was there and you bowled and the rake came down and Mr. Bill was hanging onto the rake board.
Oh, my dad told me that when he saw that, he laughed at it, you know, when you initially saw it, but he said, oh yeah, but when it would sweep, his head was like, oh, you know. That was pretty cool.
I thought that was a pretty good one. I'm trying to think of some other places to put him. I haven't done all that yet.
Did we put him on the deck shield? Oh,
He did
Yeah.
ride the deck shield one day.
okay.
So we haven't killed him yet.
Yeah, he kept screwing with my camera.
Yep. I tried to get it where the camera was right in front, so when he came down, it would come down like Mr. Bill right in the camera's face. But where the camera's placed, Mr. Bill would have hit the deck light, so I couldn't do that. So-
We'll do that. All right.
What else has anybody got out there?
What would happen if you knock over all the bowling pins you have set on the floor?
I told Mike he'd have to pick all of them up and clean them.
Mm-mm.
At some point, I'm going to have to take them out. I got to start boxing them up. They're going to go to Plano tomorrow, and they've got a mag tournament coming up Wednesday, they only have about 130 or 140 now, so whenever they do their tournament, they have to run the machines with only about 13 pins each, so their machines go pretty slow and they can't really expand the tournament as much. So I'm hoping now, with everybody's help, that we got 250 pins going their way, that they can run them at 20 pins a machine and accommodate more people in their tournaments and do hopefully more often.
There was a Mr. Bill's bowling alley in Columbus, Ohio.
Really? Mr. Bill?
Unfortunately, burned down.
Maybe that's where the mag pin came out of Mr.
Well, you
Bill's.
know, there was another bowling alley up there that, and I don't know if it was in Columbus. I gotta research it, but it was a Brunswick house, an old Brunswick house, and the guy had around the desk he had old vintage pins. I know he had some new blue ribbons, and he had a Brunswick red crown, but it had the crown that went down, and it was a very flat
The
valley
King,
in the crown.
like the old Kings.
Well, this
the
one didn't
original-
have a label on it.
Well, I remember the original Kings had that, like where the crown came down, over, then up again.
Yeah,
instead
and it
of
was
down
very.
and
It
up.
was. This was like. I mean, it was squared off.
Oh, really?
It was really cool, and
Where was this again?
It was in Ohio. I can't remember.
Any idea what town in Ohio? We can reach out to our Ohio
It was.
people and see if they know who you're talking about.
Yeah, it was. There was some
Mike's going to try looking it up here.
controversy around it. Some people. Oh, sorry. It was something with. They thought it might have been set. The fire was.
A bowling alley intentionally set on fire?
No.
No,
I mean, they
never.
Apparently, there was some hoopla with that, and let me see. Bowling alley. Hold on, just a minute. What? What?
You had the mic in your hand like
Oh.
you're going to say something.
Yeah. Would you replace the A2 with the GSX
Nope.
or an 8290
Nope.
XL?
Nope.
Nothing.
Nope. No replacing the old A2 pin setter from 1956. Actually, the A2 pin setter from 1956 was originally a Model A pin setter, for those who know the old bowling, and it was converted to an A2 back in, I'm guessing, the 60s, wherever it was installed at. But hopefully, when all my parts show up, I'm going to be the first person in the world to unconvert their A2 back to a Model A pin setter. As much as I can, everything's going to go back to original A. So that's a project coming up. I've already converted the time delay, thanks to Rod J, to where the time delay no longer works, and it's now a mechanical time delay. After much work with him on that, we finally figured out which steel ball to put down the shaft in the 4-to-1 that would work appropriately, and the right O-ring on the needle valve and everything, and all of a sudden one day after I'd given up faith, the time delay started working. So now we have a mechanical time delay, which is a big part of the A system, this adjustable. But I got the lift rods coming for a Model A, I got the rake lift shaft for an A, I got the cushion, the hockey sticks, everything else.
Not yet, Mangle. Does anybody else have any questions?
What else anybody got to say? Who's the first time viewer today? Just curious. And where you're located? Give a shout out to your home bowling alley. Spread the news to everybody else. Get them on the page, get them on the channel. Let's get some more viewers up.
If you're on Facebook, join us in our group. Same name, Garage Bowling Alley.
Yeah. Garage Bowling Alley. And also we've started a page, Vintage Bowling and Collectibles, I believe.
Something like
I think
that.
it's that. We're only in the 50s on the membership right now, so some of the other bowling pages have like thousands, so we need to get a lot of those people to cross over onto ours. And if you got anything you want to post in there, go in there, find it, join it, and post some stuff today. Anything you have old bowling, any old pictures, bowling equipment, bowling pins, put them on there, and let's get some activity on the page, get the membership up, tell everybody you know. And
Do you have a Magna pin you can send Mangle?
do I have a Magna pin I can send Mangle? They're not the greatest of shape because they've all been painted over. but I'm sure I could find a Magna pen and send it to you. They've recoated a lot of them. Some of them have no labels on them. The other ones, they taped off part of them. So really the whole cool effect of the pen is gone because of the recoating process. So you just have a bowling pin with a black base on it, unfortunately.
Yes, we are live, Green Eyes.
We are live. It is, let's see, what time are we at? Sunday
It
afternoon
is
in the central
2:21.
time zone is 2:21 p.m., 3:21 on the East Coast, 12:21 on the West Coast.
What is your favorite bowling ball?
Favorite bowling ball? Oh, the Ebonite has been good to me. The Ebonite, I had the one, and then I got the big one. I think it was the follow-up to that one, and I think I've had all my good series bowled on that. But my other favorite one is the Kingpin, the Brunswick Kingpin ball. I got one off eBay for like $25. Mike is still over here looking up.
I gotta find it.
He's finding it. I'm not big into bowling equipment, like buying stuff. I know a lot of people go out and buy the newest,
False.
latest, and greatest all the time, and have like James has like 40 or 50 bowling balls in the closet and stuff. I usually bowl with the ball till it just wears out, and I have like 2 or 3 that I might shift. Like if I'm leaving a lot of 10 pins one night, I'll switch balls thinking that may make just enough of a difference, but otherwise I just have one ball and I use it for the whole night, and I don't really switch around much.
I know I saw it, Brendan. I don't think Robert has seen it. He hasn't been on social media much today.
Yeah, I'm kind of slacking on my social media updates. What was on there that I didn't get to see yet?
Is it hard to find Brunswick Red Crown pins?
Which Red Crown pins are we talking about? Because you have the actual Red Crown pins from the 70s with the Red Crown on the label. You had the B Red Crown that came out like around 1980 or so, that was around for 5 or 6 years. Then you went to the Flyer type that was a printed Red Crown. It's got the red Brunswick Red Crown and the blue B with the ink that kind of bled out. And then after that, you're just talking about pins that have the Red Crown on them, from the Score King to the Max that has a Red Crown on them. But they're usually fairly common. Score King 50s are pretty common. If you look on eBay, you can find the old Score King 50s, and occasionally a B Red Crown or a Red Crown pops up there. Right, Mike?
Yeah. There's somebody trying to sell Score King 50s on eBay for like $35 a pin, and they're used.
Actually, if you go on now, there's 2 of brand new Red Crowns that are on there that are lamps. I think they're down to $35 now. They started a lot higher and they keep coming down.
Have you made the 710 split in the garage?
I have made the 710 split in the garage. I did a video about 9 months ago, if you look around March or April, where I came out and shot at the 710 split. There's a blooper reel, and then the one where I actually made it. And it actually is on TikTok, believe it or not. If you look up Garage Bowling Alley on there, I think you can see it.
Yeah, we have one video on
I
TikTok.
thought I put more than one on there, maybe 2 or 3.
I think you, Josh, and I have made the 710 on this.
Yeah, I think we've all
So-
made it up here at one point, but if you go back and look, I did a blooper reel, like maybe 20 shots where a pin bounced out, rolled over, went right in front of it or something, but then it finally culminates into me actually converting the 710 split. But I think it was about 65 attempts before I finally got one to bounce out, and that was pre-twister.
It took him 2 days to do it.
Yeah, literally, if you look at the video, I'm wearing different clothes both times, so.
I didn't know it took you 2 days to do that video.
Yeah, I started one day, I think I did about 30 or 35, and I just wore out and came out the next day and kept going and finally got it.
Did everybody know, and I forgot about this, I'd seen it initially, but I was just looking for this bowling alley fire in Ohio. It said, fire rekindles at abandoned bowling ball factory in St. Louis. The old Faball,
Oh, wow.
aka Hammer,
The hammer.
old factory burned, and it was October 28th that the fire happened, or October 27th.
Just a few days
And
ago?
Well, back 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And they were saying the fire rekindled. I was like, oh, wow.
That's weird. I didn't know they had a closed bowling ball factory in St. Louis.
Have you made huge bounce outs?
Oh, God.
Yes.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah.
Will you aim your face away from your microphone?
cough away from the mic. But yeah, if you watch our feeds from our live feeds from the garage on Saturday, we bowl normal games at the very beginning. We'll bowl either 1 or 2 games, and then we set splits up, whatever you all want to watch. We set up and shoot, but we always put in the twister pins. Mostly always put in the twister pins, but we can kick those back all the way to the foul line. I think one of them actually hit Aaron in the foot one time, all the way from the lane, all the way down, and smacked him in the foot. But yeah, we have pins bounce out, but we have the curtain inverted. We are cheating a little bit. And the twister pins, we found out of everything we use, the twister pins are the best ones to kick out.
And someone said earlier, when you put the plastic things in, they're going to start bouncing like crazy.
Good. And also in the bed of my truck, I go show you, but it's too far away and the camera is wired. But I have a new phenolic pin deck. Well, not new to me, new to the garage bowling alley, a phenolic pin deck that we're going to put in, take out the old wood pin deck, and I think that's going to really increase the activity as well. The thing weighs, I think it probably weighs twice what wood weighs. It took 2 or 3 of us to get it out of Josh. It wouldn't even move. Josh had it in the bed of his truck, and we were trying to slide it out, and we couldn't get under the front of it to lift it up to pull on it. Josh and I are on the back, like trying to pull on the back of it. Couldn't get the damn thing to move. It's so damn heavy. But we finally got it out, put it in the bed of my truck where it's been ever since.
I agree, Hedgehog.
And we're going to try to put it in here and take out the existing pin deck and go to a phenolic. I've got to measure and see if there's a size difference, if I'm going to have to fill in a gap or if I'm going to have to move the lane back a couple inches. And we'll reinstall the phenolic pin deck. That would be another upcoming upgrade, along with an A pin setter. I know a lot of people will say clear out a spot next to it and put an 8230 in next door, but I saw Glenn was selling his 8230s from up at Ken Cliff. Finally, he's got them listed, but I think he was something around like $10,000 for them, or else he was just going to piece them out or part them out himself. Like, put them realistic and let somebody buy them. I almost would buy one and just have it because they're probably the best condition 8230s in the world. And I'd like to have one. I don't know where I'd put it right now, but...
In our trips to West Texas, did we go through Dumas?
We have never been through Dumas.
I thought y'all did on the last trip.
Because
I don't think we have.
back in April 10th of 2019, the old abandoned Star Theater turned Oak Lane's bowling alley is now in ruins after the fire fully engulfed and took down the building.
That sounds like a really cool place just from what you said.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, it has a picture of it. It's kind of like that bowling alley in Brownfield or wherever.
Let's see. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's sad.
And I think it was in town. It was, yeah, because it
Very,
was an
very
old movie theater, they said.
Old movie theater. Probably set up a really cool old bowling alley in it. How do these places burn down? Other than
Well, it was vacant. So somebody, vagrant probably said it.
So you had it bowling alley and it closed.
Hi, Charles.
Yeah.
What's up, Charles?
Never late.
By the way, we're watching your comments live and Aaron's responding. So if you got anything, just post a comment. We'll respond right back to you.
And we'll probably start wrapping it up. I
Yeah.
can already tell Rob is starting to lose his voice. So.
Yep. My energy level's low.
As is mine.
I know Mike's probably about ready to go home and park it for a while. He's been sick for the last couple of weeks.
Who's your favorite PBA bowler from the good old days?
From the good old days. Oh, there's two things behind that. I heard probably my favorite back in the day had to be Mark Roth. He was just a bowling badass back in the day. And Aaron told me this morning he saw a posting that he was congestive heart failure.
Yes.
And pneumonia. So definitely
And
keep him in your
pneumonia.
thoughts.
He had a massive stroke about,
yeah.
how long is it, 10 years ago?
Yeah, something.
And I saw him throw the first ball out at a tournament. He had to go up with his walker. His right side was still good, but his left side was not, but he was able to throw one ball
Enjoy the
right-handed.
movie, Hedgehog. Bye.
See you, Hedgehog. But I saw him, I've seen him in a couple of tournaments where he shows up and he's just kind of sitting in the crowd. But
Yeah.
back in the day, anybody picked up the 7-10 split, Mark Roth was just probably as good as it came.
his wife Denise, I believe that's who it was. She posted something on Facebook
Correct.
asking for prayers because
Yeah.
he has congestive heart failure and complicated by pneumonia.
Yeah, that's not a good combination.
I was fortunate enough. One of the last PBA tour stops they held at Don Carter West, I was able to cross with him in the Pro-Am, and he was really neat to talk to. I actually got to bowl with him, PDW.
Oh man,
It was like it
There-
was,
yeah, there's my modern day favorite, which now I guess he's not modern day. He retired, but
Yeah.
I hated Pete Weber when he first came out. I thought, drug addict, Richard, just, he was young, cocky, and just kind of did everything wrong. But you know what? He was still bowling less than a year ago on the tour and still winning. Him and
Yeah.
Norm Duke.
yeah.
Norm Duke. I like the old timers. Every time one of the old timers pops up on TV, I'm always rooting for them. I don't care who
Well,
it is.
and I think PDW. I'm more of a everybody's got to have their chance at redemption. So
Yeah.
I mean I think he's done his thing. And
Pete Weber is bowling.
Yeah.
He's just as bad as good as they come.
Yeah. I mean,
Who do you think I am?
I am.
Who do you think you are? I am.
Anybody who
That's
goes
it.
on live TV talking about his retirement, drunk as a skunk, because if you heard it, and I posted the video clip,
He
if
dropped
you
the
look for it
F-bomb.
back about June or so, and he comes on talking to Randy Peterson, I'll bleep the word, but you can hear him goes, who do you think you are? I am, and you better effing believe it. Live on TV.
Oh well.
Gotta love it. Going out with a bang.
Yeah.
As PDW is.
Well, and you got guys like Walter Ray
Walter Ray.
that Parker Bone.
Parker Bona, is so great to see him in the King series.
Yeah, and I mean,
actually
he just-
won.
He throws it good.
Oh,
I
it's so smooth.
Yeah, and he was like, he's kind of like, and Earl Anthony was so smooth too. I mean, just, every once in a while you'd see him when Earl would get frazzled, it was not a big temper. You could just see him. He just kind of did stuff with his face.
Well, then you got Marshall Holman, who had his little
Oh,
temper
yeah.
tantrum, and he was not very well liked, and you can kind of tell looking back at him now. There's a really good one. If you look up Bo Bowden
Oh yeah.
and
Oh,
Marshall
my God.
Holman in a game, the crowd hated him.
Oh,
Watch the
horrible.
video, and Marshall Holman gets a split, and the crowd is cheering, and you can tell Marshall Holman is pissed that this crowd hates him. He goes up, converts the split, and flip a switch. The crowd is on his side and like cheering that he picked it up, and he's like, "F you, right back at you."
Yeah.
But look up Bo Bowden, Marshall
1981,
Holman.
Yeah.
It's the only clip that comes up. Watch it. It's just classic. Funny watching the crowd hate somebody so much and cheering every time he misses.
And it was at Don Carter Kendall Lanes outside of Miami.
Yeah, basically Miami.
It was a 74-lane double-sided house. It's of course long gone.
Closed.
Well, it was 74 lanes, but it couldn't have been It had to be so many on one side and so many on another, because 74 cut in half is 37.
Yeah, 30.
So some way it had to have a funny split. But
Yeah.
it was a 74-lane house, and
That's cool.
it was some video, and there's also video of Marshall Holman kicking a foul light
Oh
at the
yeah.
showboat.
It was a
Doubles tournament.
doubles
Yeah,
thing. Yeah, and I
doubles
think it was it
Pete Couture and Tommy Hudson.
Hudson, yeah, and he was like one to protest, and they're like,
Yeah.
whatever, and they had to send the rep out there to like fix it, and I think
Yeah.
Marshall Holman's sitting there like
Look,
kind of embarrassed, but
well,
yeah.
and speaking of other great, this is just a local thing in Dallas. For those of you that remember the Quaker State, Forum Bowl was owned by Jeannie Halsey.
Oh yeah.
And her family still has it. But there's a video I ran across on YouTube that's a bunch of videos of Jeannie Halsey from, her days starting out when she owned Golden Triangle and Forum Bowl, and it's actually a cool video because it's got some of her and her family, but it's got a lot of cool bowling personalities in there, like Holman and Roth and Earl Anthony. And,
Also,
yeah.
I think I saved it on a playlist, that Channel 8 video
Yes.
where they're setting up for the Quaker State, and they're actually showing them in their pre-tournament, like running the lanes and all that. And
Yeah.
back when they had a full staff and the golden chandeliers and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I think I saved it, and it's in look in all the playlists. I've got a bunch of different playlists with some of our like live shows in one. I've got league in the other, and some just cool old bowling videos. Or if you have any other links, that if you see something that's not in there, let me know and I can add it to that, because I'd like to, you know, I try to keep a bunch of playlists of really cool videos on and stuff like that in there.
But you know what was something else, going back to the Genie
Oh, I
Halsey.
forgot. Let me show you Aaron real quick. Oh, dang it. He just left.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll get him on camera when he gets back. Remind me later. Forgot about
something
that.
else about the Genie Halsey video. Jeannie Halsey and my grandmother were about the same age. And it's interesting to look, you know, at videos from like the late 60s, 70s into the 80s. And I mean, Jeannie Halsey was always pretty fashionable, you know, her bowling centers and herself.
Golden chandeliers.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean,
it's just interesting because she reminds me of my grandmother and the way they dressed and did their hair and all that kind of stuff. So it's a cool video. So if you look it up on YouTube, Jeannie Halsey, and her last name is Hulsey.
well, there's a good one. Send me the link to it, and I'll put it
I
on.
will
I'll put
find
it on
it.
one of the playlists.
I will find it.
But yeah, I found somebody found and sent me the link. I think I've got it on there too. Is Bowlerland in Garland. Back in like 1976, they filmed a TV news thing up there. But that's where I bowled when I was in grade school for about a year or so before Don Carter's opened up. Don Carter's All-Star Lanes East opened up, and that had 52 lanes, automatic scoring, and you know, it was just unheard of at the time. I mean, it was the Cadillac of bowling alleys. And you know, Bowlerland turned into Blazer Bowl. It closed around 1990 or so, I think.
No, it was, I think, early 2000s.
Early
actually.
2000s. It was actually a high-scoring house. I don't know how they closed. I don't know how that place ever shut down, because that was one of the top-scoring houses around.
Okay, I have found the video, Robert Nathan.
Which one is
The
this?
Jeannie Halsey. I will share it with you. Is that what I need to do?
Yeah, just copy the link and send it to me, and I'll make sure I put it on there. I'll put it on our playlist.
Wait.
Forum still does have the Star Shields. They have. I hope it's just a
Rip
panel.
those panels off.
I hope it's just a panel over the panel, and that maybe one day somebody will get nostalgic and take those panels off, and it still says Forum Bowling Lanes up on the top corner, and everything still works. It'd be cool to see that place go back to what it looked like back in the 70s and 80s before they put panels over them.
Hi,
So if you know
Kevin.
anything about Forum Bowling you're watching, tear down those panels.
Check your messenger.
Check my messenger. All right. Mike is still looking for videos.
Trying to get you this link.
Let me see from the world out here. What, from Mangle? Nope. Oh, there it is. There's a black bar on the bottom of the stream. I think someone accidentally moved the video source up on OBS and it needs to be dragged back down. I'll have Mike look at, or Aaron look at that real quick.
Oh,
See
yeah.
if,
Here's the video.
oh wow.
So there's Art Trask.
Art Trask and that big afro that he had.
And then there's, let me turn it this way. Ooh, these are, let me see, there's Marshall
Wow,
Holman
Marshall
with Jeannie.
Holman, speaking of which.
Earl Anthony
Earl
and
the
Bo
Pearl.
Bowden. Oh, not Bo Bowden, Bo Burton, excuse me.
Yeah.
Some monkey. That
Oh,
is
that
Johnny
Petraglia?
Petraglia. Yeah, there's Mark Roth.
Oh, wow.
That's,
Howard Cosell, was it?
no, Vern Lundquist.
Oh, Vern
That's-
Lundquist.
Let's see, there's Connie Cotton.
Wow. Yeah, check it out. We'll put the video up on our
Yeah,
on the YouTube page.
It's worth seeing.
Check the playlist. I'll put it under one of the folders. I can't remember what I called it, but it'll be appropriately named.
Would you prefer Brunswick 2000 or Steltronic Super NEX?
What was the second one?
Steltronics Super NEX.
Have you heard of that, Mike?
I've not heard.
Is
I've
that
heard
a
of
ball
Stel-
return? I'm probably more, Brunswick 2000 fan if you see to the right of the door, but Brunswick 2000 is what they replaced my favorite Astroline ball returns at Don Carter's back in the day when they took those out along with taking out the Star Shields. They had the Planet Star Shields that had like the reflectors, they had like the star and the planet and all the other cool stuff on it. Different from the Star Shields with the diamonds on it, which we're still looking at trying to get a set of those if I can talk Mike into driving with me to Louisiana and back.
Super Elix scoring system.
Super Helix scoring system.
Elix.
I am not good on all the scoring systems.
neither.
I guess I don't really follow them too well. So I mean, there's so many different ones, and I usually don't pay much attention. I don't even know what we have up at USA Bowl that we use. I think that's a Brunswick product.
Yeah.
I would love to find, speaking of scoring systems, an old Astroline scoring system from back in the 70s.
Lord.
Mechanical nightmare, but I heard those things ran off at 220.
Really?
Could you imagine Don Carter's when they flipped the switches and turned on 52 lanes? 52 lanes at 220 along with 26 Astroline scoring systems all turning on all at once.
USA has Sync. SYNC.
Oh, okay, Sync. Who's
Not
that from?
SINK? Oh.
Do we have a local?
Yeah, right.
Oh, sorry. Sync. So we got a local here. Got to come check out the Garage Bowling Alley. We're in Dallas, Texas. Farmers Branch, actually.
And Rod J. I'm just pretty happy that we have video and working microphones. I sat down at the desk and I'm like, how does all this work again?
I
3
know
weeks is a long time to not even
I know.
touch it.
It's not for a lack of interest on our part. I've been working on a special project in the garage. If you know what it is, don't give it away. It'll be really cool when I finish it, if I can finish it and get all the parts. Mike has been kind of under the weather for the last couple of weeks, so he's been unavailable. I might try to go live this week and do some bowling myself once I finish up the clutch rebuild and everything. Actually, not a rebuild, just putting it back together. I'll do a live video bowling myself probably. Let's see, does anybody have anything else? If not, we're going to probably wrap it up for today. We just thought we'd go on, do something live, and check back in with everybody and talk bowling. Hopefully you got a lot out of this. Send us some links, send us some video links if I don't have them already, and I'll put them on. I'll put them in a playlist on our YouTube page. Check us out on Facebook.
Rockwall's not
We're
too far
on
away.
Garage Bowling Alley on there, Garage Bowling Alley on Facebook, and also what we talked about earlier on, if you're over 50,
Get the shingles vaccine.
get the shingles vaccine. If you ever had chicken pox in your
For the love of
system,
God.
I got a guy at work who's going through hell getting through his. Mike has not been happy the last 2 weeks. He's had a lot of pain, a lot of agony, and it's nothing you want to go through. My doctor's been telling me to do it for the last couple of years. I haven't done it, but the day that Mike told me he had it, I went and got my first vaccine. I go in after January 9th for my second one, but don't take it lightly, because if you get it, you're going to hate life.
Yeah, it's not fun.
I've been talking to the guy at work about it, and it's like you can't bathe, you can't put clothes on. It's just, you don't want to go through that for 2 or 3 weeks. So here's our public service announcement for the day. Go get the shingles vaccine.
Yep.
If you've ever had the chicken pox, is that
That's
it?
right. If you have the chicken pox, you're 50 and over,
Yeah.
get the shingles vaccine.
So I guess if you haven't, you're okay. Thank you, David H., for all the help you've given me this week on the clutch. All the cool videos. Ron up in Canada for all the stuff you sent. Mangle for the cool bowling
Yeah.
pins. My shipper for bringing me a bunch of Magna pins and a bunch of other cool stuff.
You too, Charles.
Anybody else? We'll be live from bowling on Monday night if I don't get sick and have to skip it. Hopefully I won't. I feel better today than I did last night, so hopefully that's gone. And we'll be live sometime this week in the garage doing something at some point, if that's vague enough. And then hopefully by this next weekend, if Mike's feeling better, we'll be back live in the garage. And I guess thanks again for watching. Send us some links, send us your comments. And of course, as always, help control the pet population. Have your pet spayed or neutered.
Goodbye, everybody.
And see you
See
next
ya.
time.
Take care.